Please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? On the 24th of September 2020, I made a video titled Allexx is the avatar of arrogance, originally an exhibition of stupid people. It was actually meant to be a content constable, a collaboration with another YouTuber, formerly YouTuber, but we went with Social Repose instead. There was also meant to be a part 2 to that video, but when I looked further into what Imallexx did, to be honest, he kinda slipped off and it would have been regurgitating far too many points that have already been covered before, so I let it go for a time. Imallexx's career for the most part has drifted down. It hasn't really gone anywhere. He has tried things here and there and of course failed at it, for the most part. Recently he has gotten into a fair amount of trouble that has blown Twitter up, and other places of course. Twitter though is where we're going to be going. He has been essentially exposed for behaviour that, if proven true, there's no coming back for his career. If you're interested in understanding a bit more about who he is, I'm going to link the first video I did down below in the pinned comment. Context is vitally important. I highly recommend everyone check it out first. To those that are still here, thank you. We're going to be looking into what it is that got him trending, and why this does not look good for Imallexx. I do want to highlight something before we dive right into this, and that is his social blade. Since 2021, Imallexx's channel has for the most part been well and truly stagnant. His viewership has fluctuated, of course, commentary does from time to time have ebbs and flows. His subscriber count has consistently been in, let's say, the, well, plateau? Yeah, of 0. Although he will be having another negative swinging back to what he had in 2022, as you can see, where he was consistently losing 10,000 subs every other month. I have a strange feeling that's going to happen this time. For a channel of his size, his viewership isn't great. 2 million subscribers you'd expect slightly better, but I know that when it comes to subscriber count and viewership, I don't have much of a leg to stand on, so I thought I'd just insert that remark now, knowing someone's going to make it. I just want to highlight that for a while now, Allexx hasn't gone anywhere, and with what has come to light over the past, let's say, 48 hours, things aren't going to look good for Allexx, and it's going to be a rough ride going forward. And I say a rough ride knowing there is a chance he could prove his innocence. Some of the video evidence will not help him though.
Normal route, which is just do the normal route, but a normal girlfriend.
You're acting like this is all just me, and that's something you really need to fix.
I'm gonna bash your head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the up. Because this one, genuinely, this one, you this royally this.
There is a fair amount of context missing from that one clip, and that clip was shared by most of the larger commentary YouTube channels. Some people did go bat defensively, I guess. Although it could be sarcasm, for example, not to be that guy, but every single couple I know talks to each other like this, literally how my husband talks to me, literally how I talk to my husband. I am fully aware that there are some who, in their own relationship dynamic, use more explosive or perceived explosive language. Fully understand that. I don't think this is one of those times, and that's because there's more to this. I'll play some of that as well.
But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a good dog, you don't do it, you fight for some reason. I don't know why you fight, because you're losing, because you end up admitting that you all up anyway, so it's just weird. And I know that you're going to end up admitting that you all up.
I'm going to do a slight devil's advocate here, but not intending to take his side. Sometimes with these kind of clips, it can be seen as somebody holding you to the mark, right? Giving you the honest treatment. Okay, is that what's happening in this case though? No, it bloody well isn't. This is a horrid little midget being far too aggressive when you don't need to be so aggressive. Controlling, manipulative, coercive, and that is by definition a form of DV in the United Kingdom. We have laws on that, Allexx. This falls within it. What's amusing is the people who have commentated on this so far haven't had to dredge up what I covered in my first video on you, because there's so much to unpack in this concerning Alice, I believe. You've screwed this one well and truly up. And there's more I need to show you anyway.
Like, massive issues there. And you think you can just fucking ignore them because, like, well, what's the worst that can happen? I don't know. Your boyfriend's a famous internet celebrity and doesn't trust these people because he has to keep his circle small. Because you might not have anything to lose, because your life might be down the drain, but I still have quite a lot that I would like to give. You're making it incredibly hard for me, just like Lewis did.
Yeah.
I hate all of you. You guys are like I can't make any videos of Paul Breach.
Famous internet celebrity? Is that what we're going with, Allexx? Okay, I guess when you have a subscriber count in the millions, you can claim you are a celebrity, and I know that in some countries you are considered an influencer if you regularly hold a certain number of viewers for your live streams, which means by extension you can be regarded a celebrity. It would go so far as to explain why you still consider yourself an internet sensation, and the whole debacle concerning the existence of the e-boys. How amusing and quaint that was. Now, I do fully understand why, as a creator, you would want to protect your brand as best as you can, especially when your brand is not growing. When your brand is stagnant, you need to hold on to it for as long as you can to either find a way to improve upon the situation or bow out gracefully as you start to go through a steady decline. Your viewership has been fluctuating, but you get enough views to generate a reasonable amount of income, so you don't necessarily need to grow, you need to keep your viewers. And I fully understand that. Treating those that you are supposed to care about behind the scenes like absolute crap is not a good way of going about this, and a very unhealthy way of trying to maintain that balance and equilibrium in your life. We all have a circle of trust. All creators do. All people do, in fact. But treating those within your circle of trust, because there are other people in their lives, as if they are inferior because of guilt by association, because you have to purity test and gatekeep your own little echo chamber, is not the right way of going about it, especially when you are so volatile on Discord of all places. Now, I should add a bit of context, just so there's a bit of intellectual honesty in this video. The clips you earlier saw, the first clips, concerned a phone call between Imallexx and his ex. That's what they were. That ex's name is Alice. Alice has posted an 80+ page document via Google going into great detail with many receipts and screenshots of messages and Discord voice chats, and that's where the videos came from, showing that over their time together, for the years they interacted, how it didn't go very well and the kind of person Allexx is allegedly behind closed doors. The very first page of that document says trigger warning, mentions of SA, unalive, depression and ASSAULT, because as Alice puts it, she has been threatened by Allexx to not come out with anything at all and to keep quiet, or he will create a contradicting story to discredit my own. Now, if you want to take the middle of the road stance, that could be seen as a way of saying, now Allexx, it's your turn, you can't flip this back because I've now said you're going to do that. 82 pages is a lot of information to go through. Within it, you see that he is basically an incredibly possessive, aggressive messenger, that is. He does not hold back. And this relentless attitude in the text messages, the aggressive nature, is a lot to take in. It also shows that when they have phone calls, he just screams at her constantly, disregards everything she says and all explanations, and simply says that she should always apologize because she is always in the wrong. Also for discovering, allegedly, that he would be interacting with people he had old relations with, and that he was stalking his ex with her old nudes in his phone. Which, by the way, if you're not with someone, you still got that, you should delete it. That almost falls within the category of revenge, PRON. And I say almost, because there's only a degree of separation. I earlier stated under UK law, manipulative coercive behaviour falls under DV. The first half of this Google Doc shows how he is exactly that. Allegedly. Again, I have to insert that because, honestly, I have to be a bit careful here. If these messages are to be believed, Allexx, you haven't only goofed, you have shown a level of unacceptable behaviour towards somebody that cared about you. I should also offer clarity that at no point does Alice say or claim that Allexx cheated on her, or the other way round for that matter. That had to be clarified via Willie Mack, who was curious. Because of how some of the conversations and comments were framed, it could be seen that way. The biggest takeaway from this is just how manipulative and coercive Allexx is. Allegedly. Again, I have to keep saying this word. I'm really sorry. I really am. It is the nature of this platform that I have to be a bit careful. And since he, at present, has buried his head in the sand, we have no response from Allexx just yet. So some of the messages that need to be highlighted would include this. You were like this when we met. Already, likewise, you sold me a dream, then I saw how much of a loser you was. I'll be fine without you. To everyone around you, you are nothing without me. Including me, Lamau, wow, how controlling and toxic and grim. Typing while ongoing. This is unfortunate for him, because when you leave these kind of messages in DMs with people, or you start typing this out with emotion controlling your behavior, people are going to catch you out and keep that for a rainy day just in case things continue to spiral. You'll also notice these messages happen over multiple platforms. Some happening in DMs, some happening on Discord, which also are DMs as well. This change of platform is quite interesting to me because it tells me the level of obsession to just absolutely lambast the person, Alice in this case, anywhere that he can, allegedly, which does him no favours because it shows a level of obsession, which is earlier pointed out in the very Google document because of her catching him looking up exes, which is a bit strange. You shouldn't be doing that. I'm going to read through some of the Discord messages as we make our way through this Google document where we're going to be spending the remainder of this video. I'm Allexx. I don't have the energy. Alice. I said what bit? Allexx, you clearly have, you win. Alice, the bit where you told me to KMS, if you don't know what that means, unalive. The bit where you said you don't want me, the bit where you call me a dumb whore, what not, but bit, what bit. Allexx, boring, I quit this, you win. The next image, I said thanks. Allexx, F off, I said thanks, suck yourself, you're a difficult little bitch. Alice, you're a see you next Tuesday. Allexx, maybe you should have shut your effing mouth. Alice, thanks for apologising, no, I'm good. Allexx, I don't mean it. As you can see, while Alice has written a reply wicked, Allexx is typing. The next image actually finishes the DM in this instance. You don't deserve it. Alice replies with bye. Allexx would also goad in subsequent DMs elsewhere for a reaction from Alice, so he could then power play her with the threat of breaking up. Clearly she was more invested in this relationship, apparently, than he was. This doesn't look good. These messages adequately demonstrate that. This kind of manipulation is unhealthy and something you shouldn't be doing. This extended to the YouTube side of things as well, where he had outright said you should be grateful because someone with expertise that he has, seriously, he is an internet sensation. This is a level of unhealthy that Allexx should not be employing in any relationship, whether it be friend, family, platonic, romantic. It really shouldn't be this. It is very ungrateful, very entitled, very millennial. Are you a millennial, Allexx? I honestly, you act like one, so I can't be certain. A prevalent and recurring theme within all these messages is that Allexx repeatedly tells Alice to leave this mortal coil, depart, elevate oneself to a higher dimension of existence by leaving the breathing part and all the organic matter behind. Yes? Is that ad-friendly enough, YouTube? His reactive, volatile nature in these messages demonstrates just how quick he is to solely crap on somebody and tell them that perhaps living is not for you, but said with far fewer words, and most of the ones he uses are profanities, all the while using a considerable amount of manipulation and gaslighting to ensure that his point is the only point that matters. Alice explains, and Allexx must have known this, that Alice suffers with a number of conditions, problems, health woes, as it were. He does not care about that in any of these messages, or if he does, he is only showing his willingness to be angry and frustrated instead, and this word has to feature now, allegedly. Let's read some more of Allexx's rather delightful, eloquent messages. Mentally, you can't buy. Now that is from Alice to Allexx, who replies, you're a dumb whore. Reply, you only said you understood. Reply with the literacy of a child. I assume that her message interrupted his trail of thought. Reply, shut me down. I said wicked, use your brain. Reply from Allexx, you have permanent attitude, never ending. Reply, I'm done talking, insults more, calls me a whore. I'm done, block me. Allexx, you definitely were giving me a shitty attitude. Yeah, I won't unblock you though, cause talking to you is like talking to a brick. Maybe don't be a dumb whore. And of course Allexx has to allegedly get the last word in by calling her a dumb whore one more time. But we're not done with these messages. On the next page, you have further him just being absolutely horrific and also suggesting unaliving. He also inserts slurs. Now, I can't show the slur, but it starts with the letter N. He would use it whenever she was in a bad enough mood or she was feeling sad. And his aggression, because she was sad, wasn't yielding the outcome he wanted in the form of some kind of subservience, allegedly. This is not a good look. The Google Doc, by the way, will be linked down below, of course. I highly recommend everyone read it for the full context. We are going to continue with the messages though, because there are more that need to be highlighted to demonstrate other behavioural traits. I'm also going to insert a disclaimer. When I was looking through this, one of my lovely mods that pulled the sources together for me did point out that some of this might not be in the correct order, because some of the messages do look like they happen at different stages of the relationship, whether they were together or afterwards. And we know there's plenty of after stuff as well, because there's a video of Alex's DMs sent the other way, begging like there's no tomorrow, and yes, of course, we'll get to that soon. So if anything does seem a little bit out of place, try to ignore that and focus on the fact that he, allegedly, is being a monster in these DMs. Short of her having repeatedly cheated on him or S.A'd him, I can see no reason why he has to be this aggressive so much. And I know of one other creator in my time on YouTube who was like this. One. And if he was still a creator to this day, I would have done a video blasting him for it too. Now, even with all this vitriol earlier on in the relationship, they still did move in together. Something which was confirmed later on in the document around page 42 of 82. This is where Allexx decided to start jotting things down, because she was reluctant to move in with Allexx at first, to which he then decided just to hurl as much abuse at her as possible, allegedly. A message exchange between Alice and her mother is, let's face it, quite harrowing to read, because the details of their arguments and just how severe they are to Alice, along with the fact he broke her possessions and then hid the possessions, a very manipulative and possessive attitude, which the mother, Alice's mother, acknowledges that this isn't 1935, yet he is treating it as such. She also catalogued the message exchanges between herself and her father, where he also wanted her to get out of there ASAP for her safety, and that she does not owe him any explanation for leaving, simply to leave for her own protection. Shortly after, during a day when the parents of Allexx were supposed to go over for a visit for dinner, Alice alleges that Allexx got physical, kicking her in the back because she gave him 2 chores to do at once, which was one too many for his ickle brain to handle. This led to Alice getting a friend to collect her, and later on to get her stuff back, which he had shattered into pieces. A 4K setup down the drain. This is where the messages between Allexx and Alice get incredibly weird. He accuses her of many things, ignoring her. When she replies and tells him why he is being ignored, he just goes off on one, allegedly. I hate that I'm still having to say that. You may also notice the chat seemed to change to business chat as well in the DM messages at the top. Am I right to assume this is another platform being used? What are we going with? Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, and Discord? Eventually, Allexx starts to send apologies, and he wants to talk to her, Alice, verbally, so she can hear the apology from his ickle mouth, to go with his ickle brain. Alice does not want this. He does concede, though, it's hard for him to just cut off. Completely, that is. Alice replies, until it actually got domestic and serious, and you're saying we're even. Reply, I got worse because I'm self-destructive, and every time we didn't call, I got worse. The next messages we need to look at, I believe, come from, I think, Instagram, where a message request was sent from Allexx to Alice. Alice, talk to me. If there's a chance I can spend every day trying to make it up to you, then I wanted to take it and show you I'm serious. But these are the last messages. If you do decide to contact me, I'll be here. There'll be no more contact from me. The letter speaks for itself, and I'm not going to make you be in something you don't want to be in. We'll get to the letter, I think, in a moment, if it's the right one. Reply, I don't want you to make it up to me. You know you don't mean this. You carried on for months and got worse and worse. You're doing whatever works in your favor right now. I was wrong for the way I handled it, but I understand. I let you down. I don't want to lose you forever. I feel like he's quoting or paraphrasing Rick Astley here. I want to come over and talk in my heart. I want to run to you right now. I was scared of everything originally, and I'm not anymore. I just want to do right by you. I've got one last thing to deliver to you today that was left behind. What was it? Your onesie. I feel like that's a setup for, just an excuse to get near Alice. Eventually she does say to him, maybe you can just suck it up. For all the ABUSE you gave me, stalk me like you stalk your ex, I don't know. He believes that they're ending on a big argument. Just to go back to the reference to the letter, I had noticed on Twitter someone called Beckett of Crabs posting 2 images which are apparently the Imallexx letter in question. I will of course recommend you pause if you want to read this. It took me a moment, the handwriting is atrocious. And yes, I'm going to judge. It looks like it was done in a Sharpie. Can we go back to the good old days of using a fountain pen and wove paper? The next message that needs to be read. Yeah, no, sorry. I can't do this. I keep feeling sorry for you and letting you message me. It makes you feel like this is normal and that you can wait for me. You can't. There is no waiting for me. There is no us anymore. You destroyed it. You're gonna ask, why do you care about things that I do? Then Alice, well, it's because you're the one making all this effort to contact me, F up, then apologize, so I can call you out on things you do that actually prove your statements wrong, so I call you out. I don't forgive you for ABUSING me. I don't think I ever will. I don't want you to contact me somewhere else after this. Multiple times I've blocked you on maybe 8 things now, and you need to take that as a very obvious sign that I don't want to be near you. I've struggled cutting contact with you out of my own fear and damaged mindset you've created. Even just thinking about calling you or getting anywhere near you again or being fine again with you or getting back with you scares the living out of me. And that's what you've done to me. You can make excuses, say it was my fault, I made you do it, but we all know that's invalid. It's taken me so much courage to actually finally say this to you, but I don't know, maybe don't domestically ABUSE someone next time. I don't know what you expect from me. Don't try and beg. It's all fake, it's all out of fear because you're scared of everything I have on you like everyone else in your life, and I keep falling for it. I fall for your lies and manipulation, and even when we weren't together anymore. Moral of the story, you are an ABUSER, and I want you to please leave me alone so I can actually heal from this. I've given you 10,000 chances to not call me disgusting names and gaslight me and start arguments over nothing even after I left you. You've damaged my mental health too far to explain, and I don't want to keep in contact with an ABUSER. This is unfixable. It was never fixable. You ABUSED'd me. Wake up. If you continue to contact me anywhere else, I will take this further. Thank you. Allexx then replies, and as you can see the audio is quite long. A bit too long, to be honest. I don't quite understand, because the messages continue, and they continue, and they continue. There is a level of obsession involved, and an unwillingness to let go. Of course, from Allexx, especially from Allexx. Because as Alice has stated, she blocked him on multiple platforms and he just kept on coming, kept on trying, and kept on getting in those DMs. Goading for responses, trying to use emotion after anger fail. When you've been on the internet long enough, you see this quite often. People who are perpetually online because they have to win everything they do. A naturally selfish individual who only thinks of how things benefit them, how things work for them. Earlier it was to protect his brand. This will harm his brand beyond economical repair, because even if he can prove his innocence, to rebuild will be difficult, although the court of public opinion is very much not on Alex's side right now. They haven't been for quite a while either. This unhealthy level of obsession, even when told repeatedly to stop, when also pointed out he got physical, continued to the point he would send stuff via Amazon as gifts. This receipt being a perfect example of this level of obsession, although to be honest, we're on page 64 of 82. In all of it, her messages are shorter, more concise. His are very short sentences, but there's a lot of them, because apparently he just can't type out a wall of text. He has to type out every thought the moment it happens. I understand that. To do it, either he's on his phone typing like a teenage girl, or he's on the PC typing like a teenage girl. On pages 69 and 70, Alice details all the profanities he used to describe her, all the times he was physical with her, and all the times he was reactive with her, none of which are remotely acceptable in any relationship and do not reek of healthy. Allexx comes across as levels of immature that no woman would knowingly want to be with, and nor should any woman want to have or deserve this kind of person in their life. We do also get confirmation on pages 67 and 68 that the letter I posted earlier is the letter in question that was earlier referenced by Allexx. The following 12 pages just continue. He is constantly trying to show remorse, guilt, trying to rebuild perhaps, find a way in, because apparently his obsession for Alice is beyond unhealthy. So I'm instead going to play a video on the screen showing a level of obsession that no one would in any right mind think is remotely healthy. All you see is Allexx constantly messaging. Constantly. Allexx, if you're watching this, which I doubt, I'm a loser to you after all, a lowly oik and I'm nowhere near the level of internet sensation you are. This isn't healthy, and you have to stop. Alice has outed you for things that there is no coming back from if true. Her accusations are thorough, and she kept records while you two were together, screenshotting while you were messaging more profanities to her. I know there are some that are going to say that Alice holds some blame for not walking away sooner, or for not finding better ways to deal with him, block him, report him, go to the authorities. I understand that. There are mitigating factors that come into this, and it is not right to lay the burden of blame onto her. This falls solely at the feet of Allexx. Again, allegedly. The evidence is pretty damning though regardless, and no offense to you, Allexx, but my bias will show. The evidence is thorough enough that I do believe there is some merit, a lot of merit, considerable merit to what Alice is accusing you of. So do enjoy going back into irrelevancy, I guess. How's that second channel of yours working out? Since that is just Alex Elmsley. I assumed you only created that because the main channel was dying. Best of luck. One of the newest comments on one of your most recent videos on Jojo Siwa on the Alex Elmsley channel says, "Do you still have the ukulele? If you by chance do, I fully expect your own rendition of the toxic gossip train. We need a 2024 version, and you'll find the relevancy will come flying in when you get mocked to high hell at the streamies."
I want to try and put this in as a concise way as possible, but this is my response to Michael and Slazzo's video. I want to make a statement because of the fact that obviously I came out and supported Che when she posted her twit longer, and obviously now Michael's video has come out where he's debunked some of the things that were put in there. First of all, I already knew that some of the screenshots that were used in Che's twit longer were jokes. I was very much aware of that, but I never had an issue with that, and I want to make that clear. Stupid jokes are stupid jokes. My problem with Michael was him admitting to doing things that he knew Che may not have wanted to do, and being incredibly forceful and almost demanding, which he admitted to doing in his video, which for me is still disgusting. I don't believe he's innocent. I don't think he's innocent at all. Che may not also be innocent.
innocent and may have hid stuff and used jokes to try and maybe push a certain agenda. But at the same time, the stuff that Michael admitted to is stuff that makes me not want to be friends with somebody who is capable of doing those things, even the things he admitted to. I really hope he gets help, because nobody should just carry on doing what he did, and he should try and improve himself. But I personally don't want anything to do with somebody who even managed to admit to some of the stuff that he had apparently done. And that's literally it.